Well, you know that Social Security is the backbone of retirement for millions of Americans, but changes may be on the way. In this episode, what we're going to do is dive into the recently released proposal to raise the full retirement age to 69 and what it means for your benefits, your future, and your financial security. There's a Social Security shakeup happening. We'll talk about it coming up on today's episode.
Let us help you reach your peak in retirement. It's time for Your Retirement Elevated.
Well, Scott, it's great to be with you once again, my friend. And we're talking Social Security today, and always makes big headlines when they talk about changes to Social Security. Sure. And this one's a big one because we're talking about raising that official retirement age and the potential impacts that could have. Set the stage for us here. What's going on in the background with this Social Security conversation?
As on previous episodes, we've talked about, Social Security is in a situation where there's a massive amount of what's called unfunded liabilities. And when the program started, it was 42 people paid in, one person took out. And we're more like 3 people paying in, one person taking out. And then we're at peak 65 right now. So more people than ever are turning 65 in 2024 than ever before. So more and more people, they were eligible at 62, but 65 is more of a common for some people to start that benefit. And so I think, when we talked about, David Walker, former comptroller of the federal government, was in the Psychology of Retirement movie. He is sounding that alarm saying, hey, we've got to do something. And politicians are well known for, number one, what's their main job? To get reelected.
Yep.
And who votes? People that are more mature, advanced age. Yep. And so Social Security being, a hot button, this proposal coming out is just talking about, hey, we probably need to make some changes. And, they're talking about extending out the age of full retirement benefits start. And again, it's just a minor adjustment. And David Walker talks about, hey, we either need to raise revenue, lower benefits, or probably some combination of those two. The issue is lowering benefits is not very popular,
right,
in that world. So again, I think this is a common sense thing because what has not happened is really we've not changed the actual tables of Social Security. And, people didn't live very long past 65 when Social Security started. And so even though we had a decrease in life expectancy over the last couple of years, probably with technology, we're going to see medical advancements, see that start to climb up. So people are retiring earlier, living longer, retiring longer. And so it makes sense that we probably need to push out the age when the full unreduced benefit starts. So I think it's common sense, but probably not popular for a lot of people.
So what happened was Congressman Brendan Boyle asked the Congressional Budget Office to provide some actual information and data about the effects that would happen if you raised that age from 67, where it is now, to 69. And that would be the age at which workers become eligible for full retirement benefits. Again, you reduced benefits if you take it before then from Social Security, and wanted to see what that would have impact-wise on the whole program's finances. And so that report is in, and we've got a couple of key takeaways from the report to kind of see what in the world they found here, Scott, with this. And first of all, again, they looked at kind of, okay, how would this work? And so this was workers born in 1965 or later would see their that date increase, their full retirement age increase incrementally. With workers born in 1972 or later, that's where the phase out would stop and it would be officially 69. And that would mean that, there'd be longer work lives for many individuals if they want to wait to take Social Security until that full age. We've got people now maybe thinking they might retire at 62, take Social Security earlier. If they see these impacts, it might be the reality that somebody's working 5, 6, 7 years longer till they get to that full retirement age.
It's a very real possibility for a lot of people, because right now you can start at 62 and then delay it until 70. And so this is a great chart that's on here. So at 62, it's a reduced benefit. At 70, it's your max benefit. So every year that you take it early, the benefit decreases. Why? This is based on life expectancy. So if you start it earlier, they're going to pay you less money because they've got to pay it for a longer period of time. And we've already had two stratifications. You see the top portion, and then down below, age 62, for retirement age 67, and shows that reduction in benefit.
So that our audience understands, this is kind of the current structure. These numbers aren't tied to this report. This is showing you, but now we're talking about just all of this pushing further, but it illustrates the point of where things are now.
Yeah, you would have basically a third piece to this, which that's not published yet because this is current system. So they're just really talking about continuing kind of the progress that they've had.
Yeah,
because it's all based on birth date. So, like I said, post 72, I was born in 1973.
Yeah.
So this definitely would, impact me. So, Walter, what we're really talking about is what we call Social Security timing trade-offs.
Yeah.
And we talked about right now, we've got two different scenarios depending on when you were born. And then they're talking about proposing this next change, which just extends out the period, moves out from age 67 to age 69 to get your full retirement benefit. But also, if you take it earlier, there's a bigger, quote, penalty or reduction in benefit with what they're proposing. Again, this is just a proposal. This is not law.
Yeah.
But it just lets you peer into what's happening in Washington to try to tackle this problem. So if you look at the current, if you're born in 1954, Walter, I'll kind of let you walk through you've got the pointer, but walk through those details.
Yeah, so you'll see that you get 100% benefit if you're watching our video version of today's show on YouTube. You get 100% benefit at age 66 if you're born in 1954 or earlier. What's interesting is you look all the way to the left. You say, okay, I want to retire at 62. You're going to get 75% of your benefit. And you can see if you go the reverse direction and say, you know what, I'll actually wait until age 70, you're going to get 132% of that benefit, again, compared to taking it at 66. So they reward you for waiting longer, penalize you if you want to take it earlier than that age. The interesting thing is you can see that although the age is getting later down in life as we kind of work our way down that graphic, you're taking your 100% benefit now at age 67. This is if you are born in 1960 or later. But if you take it at 62, you're not still getting 75% of that benefit. You've been penalized even greater, even more. You're now only getting 70% of the benefit, and they've taken away some of the benefit of waiting to 70, where instead of 132%, you're only walking away with 124% of that age. And Scott, under this new proposal, so again, this graphic is kind of current reality, but under this new study, if they made some additional changes by pushing this age out to 69, what would happen is at age 62, you would now see a 40% reduction. So that number would read 60% instead of 70% if you took it at age 62. So that's a pretty big jump in that, they've gone 5% down. Now we would go down another 10% to that 60 mark. That's pretty significant.
It is. And so really the proposal is not out of bounds. It's just saying, hey, over time, we're going to move the goalpost from 67 incrementally to 69. So it's not an overnight thing, but the effects are real. And it's going to alter some people's trajectory in retirement. Now, for our clients, then the families that we serve, candidly, it's not going to have as large of an impact on them. We're the types of families we attract tend to have been very good savers. And so they're coming to us with their life savings, over a 20, 30, 40-year period. And it's usually in that, 7-figure and above number. That 1 million to 5 million mark is kind of a sweet spot for our clients. And so that Social Security, being reduced or those changes, it just means that if they are going to retire sooner and these things would take into effect, they may be consuming more of their own resources to bridge the gap.
Yeah.
And so, yes, their consumption rate or their burn rate of their own capital or own interest may be a little higher. But again, it's a minor speed bump for the people that we tend to serve and take care of. For other people, especially most retirees in America, that Social Security makes up a large part of their Social Security. It could be a big change. And I think the other side of this is just talking about reducing benefits. The things that our clients have to worry about are the additional potential taxes that would be imposed. Because remember, I said, do you reduce benefits, increase revenue, or do you do both?
Probably both.
Probably both. And if people have dollars saved, especially in IRAs or 401ks that hasn't been taxed, that's the coffers they would potentially like to tap into to try to balance this out.
Is your retirement journey truly tailored to your needs? In his book, Exceptional Retirement: Tools and Strategies for Retiring on Your Own Terms, Scott Dugan addresses the crucial questions all retirees ask. Discover the power of a clear financial decision-making process that can prevent major retirement mistakes and unlock exceptional opportunities. In the book, Scott outlines 4 essential questions that guide retirees toward successful outcomes. Don't miss out on key insights that could define your future. Available now on Amazon. Click the link in the description of this episode to get your copy of Exceptional Retirement.
I suppose the big question from this study that the government did is, did it work? Does it save Social Security? And the short answer is no, not really. Raising the full retirement age, this is from the study, would improve Social Security's financial stability, but would not prevent the projected exhaustion of the program's trust fund by 2034. The Congressional Budget Office estimates that the increase would reduce the program's 75-year actuarial deficit by 24%. That sounds significant and decent, but this alone will not fully resolve long-term funding shortfalls. So ultimately, even if this were to go through, we're just talking about another Band-Aid, right?
We are. And to, I can't remember the speaker that talked about it, but yeah, this incremental change is rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic. I mean, it has an effect, but there are some structural things that are going to have to change. Now, are people that are close to retirement, are they in risk of losing their benefit? I don't think that's on the table. But our future generations, are they going to see Social Security as something different? I would say that's very likely. It's just not. Social Security was never meant to be a pension, a third leg of that stool. It was called old age insurance. That was and it was for people that were coming into, leaving the workforce and destitute. It was just to fill the gap and give them low level of income for subsistence. And what's happened over time is it's become a real resource for people to use in retirement. And so I think the takeaway here is you want to optimize the Social Security benefit that you have available to you in the context of an overall plan. And so, because maximizing Social Security, and you probably get dinner seminar, if you're listening, dinner seminar invitations all the time, or email, Facebook ads. Learn how to maximize your benefit. You're leaving money on the table. Well, here's the magic. Here's how you maximize it. Wait till 70 and live a long life. That's how you maximize the benefit. But that's not the bigger picture. It's understanding what is your income gap, what do you need from your dollars, your savings, how much do you need to pull from that, maximize your Social Security, when to take that, because for some people, taking and using their own dollars to fund their early retirement and delaying Social Security makes sense. For other people, starting at Social Security earlier, taking the pressure off of the consumption of their own resources makes better sense. But again, I do not like rules of thumb. I don't like the Play-Doh fun factory of financial planning that goes on out there. When we sit down with someone, we're going through a very structured process to figure out what are your resources, what are your wants, needs, and desires, and your resources are your savings, your income, your Social Security, your pension, all those are resources. What you desire to experience in retirement, there's a price tag to it. There's a paycheck you have to be able to do those things you want to do. So it's about how do you optimize it and really put those things together to make sure you have the highest probability of success in retirement. Because again, retirement could last 20, 30, 40 years, and you only get one shot at retiring right. So you've got to take all those things into consideration before you make that decision of when to take your Social Security. This is going to be a wrinkle if whatever they propose. We will put that into our planning process. We'll still optimize Social Security. We'll just have a different outcome and different rules to play by.
You need a financial plan that's flexible and can adapt with the times, but also something that's built on a foundation of success over time from the past and using those important principles of proper financial planning. That's the type of planning Scott does each and every day with his clients. If you've never been through that planning process before and you'd like to, it's really easy to reach out to Scott if you want to have an initial conversation to see if you'd be a good fit to work with one another. Not only maximize your Social Security benefits, as Scott talked about, you might get on mailers and things like that, but truly looking at your financial picture as a whole. Maximizing Social Security is just a small piece of the puzzle, but still an important one, of course.
Absolutely.
Reach out to Scott. You can call 913-393-4724. Go to listentoscott.com as well. More information there for you on the site, ways that you can contact Scott and get in touch. Don't forget to check out links and resources in the description of our show today as well. Scott, thanks for breaking down some of this Social Security news and this report here. We'll keep our eyes on it as time goes on.
Let's keep our fingers crossed.
You got it. Thanks so much. We'll see everybody next time on Your Retirement Elevated.
Investment advisory services offered through Elevated Capital Advisors, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Are you on the path to retirement but feel uncertain about your direction? Don't let myths and misconceptions cloud your journey. Before stepping into a lengthy retirement, gain clarity and confidence with a complimentary financial review. Schedule a conversation with Scott Dugan. It's completely free. Just click the link in the description below or call us at 913-393-4724. Let's start a conversation about what's most important to you as you plan for a successful retirement.